this activity of editing before delivering something written. Okay. Okay. What else? Anything else in particular that you remember from yesterday's class? No, that was it. And no, nothing else? All right. So let's then continue with today's session. Today we're going to be starting a new unit. This will be unit 3. Um, don't forget, well, we are not going to finish obviously unit 3 this week, but keep in mind that after unit 4, it's when testing and everything starts, okay? So I will, as the time comes, I will let you know how it's going to be the dynamic of doing testing and all that. But let's try to start get prepared. Maybe this weekend, or if not the following weekend, I will be creating for you guys like a sheet for you to review the topics, and that way you can be kind of refreshing throughout this time for the first evaluation. All right, so let's go ahead and start with this activity. I will set up my timer for 1 minute. And what I want for you to do is to write as many words as you can in English, or even it can be in Spanish, about typical things that you can find in a large city. Could be places, could be, I don't know, the roads, or things that.
Se está yendo el internet, ¿qué?
It's on.
No me escucho.
Um, Armando, I think your mic is on. I will mute you. Oh, okay. Got it. All right. So let's go ahead. I will put the timer for 1 minute and then try to words as you can. So you can write them on the chat and then you can just post it. That will count as participation. If you write the words in Spanish, make sure to maybe go and review the definition or the translation of that. That way you can add it to your vocabulary. So 1 minute and the clock starts now. So write as many questions as you can. I'm sorry, as many words. What things do we have in a city? Many, many words as you can. So time's up. Let's go ahead and share what you have on the chat, and let's see what words did you came with. Okay, so things that we can find: park, hotels, avenue, freeway, buildings, museums, taxis, sunsets. Yeah, that's true. So true. Gas stations, bar, clubs, tourist traffic, coffee shops. Um, yeah, streets, definitely shopping malls. Um, boat, paper, drink, alcohol, okay. Houses, boulevards, yes, that's so true. Car, people, stores, restaurants, car washers, the car wash, right? Yes. Benches, that's so true. Even though at night we cannot use them, well, at least we have them. Yes, buildings, parks, airports, that's so true. Lightnings, churches, streets, restaurants, cars, bikes, people, roads, dogs, cats, parks, books, freeway, museums, cars, traffic. A lot of traffic and many people. That's so true. All right, excellent. So I'm very happy that you didn't use Spanish. That it's great. People, traffic, buildings. All right. So all this is taken as participation, guys. Now, what are all these places and things that you find in a city called? How can we call them if we would have to give a name? How can we call all these characteristics? How would you call them if they tell you, hey, what are all these characteristics in one word? Or maybe in two? And there is no right or wrong answer. You can just think of anything that it's on your mind. Aaron?
Describing a city?
Describing a city? Yeah, that could work. Yes. Omar?
Like common objects.
Common objects? Yeah, I like that. Common objects, describing city. Any other ideas? Any other guess? Urban things. Okay. Urban places. Okay. Excellent. Well, I like your ideas. We can call them as that, yes. And city features. Just like our phones has features, also cities have them too. Obviously, we cannot manipulate them, but maybe we could say that they are characteristics of them. Now, what do you think we will be talking about today? Or things that we will be discussing? And then I have Omar. Go ahead.
I think we're gonna be talking about things we can find on a city, on a big city.
Excellent. Yes, I love it. So things that we can find in a big city. And basically, we're going to be talking, asking and answering questions about our city. Maybe Juarez could be considered as a large city. I mean, it's been growing a lot through this year, so we can find a lot of things there. Thank you. Now, let's go ahead and start with this vocabulary. Here we have some words of things that you can find in the city. However, we're going to classify them in three categories. There will be some words that maybe we can fit into two categories, and that will be fine. And yeah, we will go through columns. So we will start with bridge, ferry, hostel, sculpture, and then we will go to the next column and then the next one. So bridge, where can we put bridge? In what category? And we're going to do 2 and 2. So that way we can be able to not get so bored. Omar, the first two. So bridge and ferry.
A bridge in buildings and ferry in transportation.
All right. So yes, bridge in buildings and ferry in transportation. They consider that a bridge is also transportation because maybe it goes from one place to another. It takes you to one place to another, but building category will fit also. Thank you so much, Omar. Now, Ismael, next two.
Hostel in buildings and sculpture in art.
Excellent. Yes. Aaron, next two, clinic and fire station.
Clinic in building and fire station building.
Perfect. Yes. Alan, next two.
A monument in art and sidewalk in transportation.
Perfect. Ivan Muruato. Next two. Embassy and highway.
Embassy in building and highway in transportation.
Excellent. Yes. Thank you so much. Wendy. Last two.
Parking lot in buildings and tunnel in buildings.
Okay. So parking lot, it was here on transportation, but I think building, it will fit better because I mean, it's a space. It's not like you're transporting from somewhere to somewhere else. So I think it will be more on buildings. And tunnel, I think it will be, yeah, it could be building, but also let's remember that it is used as a way of transportation. So, yeah, tunnel can fit also into transportation. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and fill out this information. So basically, this can be kind of definitions. So let's see. I will give you like 1 minute or two so you can be able to match them with the correct sentence, okay? So 2 minutes and then we will share answers. All right, so let's go ahead and share answers. 2 and 2, so that way we can move a little bit faster. Fernando, you will do number 1 and 2. Go for it.
You want me to say the whole sentence or only the answer?
The whole sentence, please.
Okay. Firefighters work in a fire station.
Okay.
A large house where people can stay shiplight is a hostel.
Yes, thank you. Next 2, Ismael.
All right, so number 3 is people can go to a clinic for medical treatment or advice. And number 4, it's a path by the side of a road that people walk on is a sidewalk.
Thank you so much. Excellent. Next 2, it will be Alan.
A tunnel is a long passage under the ground or through a mountain. And the next one is a monument. Monument helps people remember a famous person or important event.
Perfect. And then the next 2 will be Omar, but Jonathan and Octavio, don't lower your hands. I have another activity next of this one. So don't lower your hands just yet, okay? Omar, go for the last two.
An embassy is an official building of a government in another country. And number 8, people drive across a bridge to get across a river.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Now, here's another activity. Jonathan, you will do 1, Octavio 2, Wendy 3, and we will see who will do number 4. But go ahead and take maybe a minute or 2 again, so you can fill it out with the vocabulary that we previously saw, okay? So 1 minute so you can kind of match. And then Armando, you will do number 4. Don't lower your hands, guys. Keep them up. All right, so go ahead, Jonathan, with number 1.
Okay. I went to the American Embassy and got a visa. Then I flew to San Francisco and stayed in a hostel for a week.
Thank you. Next one, Octavio.
The bridge over the river was closed, so I drove through the tunnel instead.
Thank you. Wendy, number 3.
I went to the clinic to see a doctor. I was there before it opened, so I waited outside on the sidewalk for 15 minutes.
Thank you. And Armando, last one.
There is a large monument in memory of the Great Fire next to the fire station where my husband works. He's a firefighter.
Perfect. All right, so we are very, very familiarized with all this vocabulary. Let's continue then. Now here they have a magazine quiz in which we will find questions about knowing whether you know the city or not. So I would need just 2 people to help me. And then we're going to identify the 8 city features that they mention on this magazine quiz. So I would just need 2 people, only 2 people. So the first, Alan, you will read like the title, this on bold, and the first 3 squares, okay? And then Aaron, you will read the rest of them. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Do you think you know all about your city, but how well do you really know it? If you can answer these difficult questions about your city, you're definitely city smart. I'm from Russia, and I wonder if there's a Russian embassy in the city. If so, Where is it? I need a safe place to stay that's not expensive. Hostels are usually cheap. Do you know where I can find a good one? Or a nice cheap hotel? I would like to route some monuments or sculptures that aren't very well known. Where can I find the most unusual ones?
I'm studying to be an engineer and want to take pictures of bridges in the city. Where are they and what are their names? Is there a ferry in this city? How often does it run? What time does the first ferry leave? I'm not feeling well. Do you know where I can find a walk-in clinic? I'm a street musician. Where are the best places I can play music on the sidewalk?
Okay, thank you so much, guys. So as we can see, whenever they say city smart, it's like when what? Tell me in your own words of what you understood. So when they called you, are you a city smart? What are they referring? Ismael?
Maybe intelligent and modern city with a lot of technologies.
Okay, yes. And Aaron, any other idea?
When talking about smart city, we're not talking only about technology. It's how the city is built to how to say it, how to the city is I don't know how to say the organizan in English.
Organized?
Organized.
Infrastructure? Something like that.
How organized is the city?
Yes. And what was that, Alan?
Infrastructure. Sorry, infrastructure.
Excellent. Yeah, the infrastructure. That's a hard word, right? I mean, sometimes it happens that it is like a hard word that you have to repeat it over and over until you get the right pronunciation, but
I
it
agree with
happens
that.
to all of us.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot. And then when that happens, I try to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. That way I won't forget it. Because then it comes another time that I have to say it and then oh my God, I forgot it. Anyways, okay, so yeah. I think well, right here on the magazine quiz, they are more towards like if you know the city very well. Like if you know it very well that you can give instructions or tell the people about it, then you can be a city smart. I think a smart city, like the other way around, would be like the infrastructure, the technology that the city has. But maybe here they're referring more to like if you know what you have in your city. All right, so great answers, guys. Now, I was going to, and I missed, well, I'll give the first one. So I want for you to help me underline the rest of the city features from this text. The first one, it was embassy. What other city features can you find on this text? There are 7 left. What are the other words? Aaron? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, it could be hostels.
Excellent. Yes. Thank you. Ismael, what else?
In the same paragraph, we have hotel.
Yes, I was thinking about that too. It didn't mark it here, but yeah, definitely a hotel can be another city feature. Yes, thank you for that. And what else? Jonathan.
The monuments.
Monuments, right? And even the sculptures right here next to it. And then Omar, thank you.
We have bridges.
Bridges, right? Yes. Alan,
The ferry.
the ferry, right? And even we have it 2 times. What else? We could say, Alan,
The clinic.
a clinic, and the last one. Ivan,
The street musician.
okay, you can find a street musician there. Yeah, that can be also a feature. And if we go a little bit down, we could see the sidewalk. So this one, it's just based on the vocabulary that it was belonging to the unit, but also hotel, it's very, very relevant to be a feature on a city and a street. A street or a street musician could be also. So excellent job. Now, let's answer a few questions. Why does a person want to find unusual monuments? So why is this person that made this quiz want to look for unusual monuments? What's the reason they give? Omar?
Because he likes to draw.
Yes, because he or she, we don't know, but wants to draw them. Why does a person want to ask about bridges? Or why does she or he ask about bridges? Ismael?
Because she or he are studying engineering.
Yes, and therefore she or he wants to take pictures of them. So very related to their career or their major. And why is the person want to or is asking about the clinic? Alan?
Because he or she doesn't feel very well.
Yes, because he or she is not feeling very well. Excellent. Now, why don't we do our own magazine quiz? So let's go ahead and adapt what we saw here, maybe doing 7 sentences like here. But let's think about a city that you visited or maybe Ciudad Juarez. Let's make a quiz in which you can challenge the people that are taking it to see how much they know about the city. You can use our city, Ciudad Juarez, or even if you usually go to another city that feels like you know it like very, very well, you are more than welcome. If you don't know some things, you can even look it up online for the missing information. But let's make a whole quiz about another city. So you will write it in your notebook or in a Word document or a PDF. Then I will create an assignment and you will upload it there, okay? So think about a city, maybe Juarez, maybe another city, maybe the city of where your parents are from. Like for example, my case, I feel like Durango, it's one of the places I know a little bit more about. And maybe I can search and Google for missing information, but let's go ahead and create our own quiz, okay? I will leave this as an example and try to think about things that maybe not a lot of people will know to see how and challenge them to see if they know their city well. Okay, so it's 1:44. I will give you until 2 o'clock so we can upload our quiz, okay? So let's go ahead and take that time to create our quiz and then just upload it on the assignment that I will open, okay? So 15 minutes for that, guys. Let's go ahead and start working on it. And if you have questions, just let me know. All right, the assignment it's open for you guys. So once you are done, don't forget to upload it, okay? All right, so how is everyone with the assignment? Are we almost done? Not yet? All right, so I will give 5 more minutes and then we are going to be continuing with the class because we have another things to do. So 5 more minutes and then we will continue. All right, so it's 2:05. I actually put this assignment to be closed at 4. So you will still have time to turn it in, okay? Let's go ahead and continue. And if you want, you can just upload whatever you have. Because I know that maybe some people have another class and all that. So just upload whatever you have, and then just I will take that into account. All right, let's continue then. Here we go. Okay, so we have some types of articles. It is a, and, the, or even sometimes we don't use it at all. So a and an are usually and commonly used whenever we are talking about singular nouns, okay? Singular nouns, we actually don't use it at all for plural, only singular. And the difference between those two is that a, we actually use it whenever the following word starts with a consonant sound. What do I mean by a consonant sound? Remember that I told you that letters and sounds are not the same, or letters and symbols are not the same. So we have to be careful on identifying them. In this case, like a cat, a bird, a child, a computer, a mirror, a board, all those things are, since the word next to the article starts with a consonant sound, then that's how we know that we will use a. Now, on the other hand, we have an. In this case, instead of using it before a consonant, we actually use it before a vowel sound. So like an apple, an egg, an ant, an orange. These are commonly used with words that have a vowel sound at the beginning. Why do I emphasize sound and not letter? Because, for example, university. University, we know that it is spelled with the letter U. However, the sound, it's actually starts with a consonant. We don't say university, but we say university. So the sound is U, and that it's more of a consonant sound instead of a vowel sound. So that's why I want to emphasize that in cases like university, unicorn, uniform, instead of saying a uniform, we say an uniform. I'm sorry, the other way around. Instead of saying an uniform, we say a uniform, a unicorn, a university, because those are consonant sound. Even though the letter it's U, when we write it, it is totally different from the sounds. Now, going to the next category, we have the word the. We commonly use this word, but sometimes we don't know why are we using it. Well, whenever we use the, it's because we are talking about something or someone very specific, very unique, something that it's not general, but it's a very, very specific thing. So the earth, the weather, the air, the sky, etc. When it's the time that we don't use articles, well, whenever we talk about general things like business, information, what else could be general? Places, things like that. Also, we don't use an article when it's an abstract noun. She hates dishonesty. We don't say she hates the dishonesty, right? Even though in Spanish it's very, very common for us to use articles, we want to say la and el for everything. Ahí está la María, or ahí está el Juan. Even though that in Spanish we use those articles, in English it's not the case. In English, we have to keep it simple and keep it very, very practical. So even though that in our native language, we tend to use a lot of it with everything, we don't know rules, we don't even care if there's a rule for that. Well, in English, we do. So whenever we also use like the name of a language, we have to omit an article. For example, I speak English. So I speak English, we don't say I speak the English because we're not being specific English, since English it's only one, right? English it's just the whole. However, there's an exception. Here it gives like the English language, it's spoken all over the world. Here, even though it's next to English, it's not using it directly with English. It's talking about language. So imagine if it says the language is spoken all over the world. Well, what language? Now here you're being a little bit more specific, but they are referring to language. And language, it's general, right? Language, it's something general, not a specific. Even though they give the description of a specific one, it's more related to language instead of English. That would be an exception. And then an adjective, we don't say he is the tall. And then the people will say the tall what? So it's not something specific, it's just general. So that's why with adjectives, we don't use it. He is a tall boy. Well, right here, this one, it's more related to boy rather than the adjective of being tall. Here, if we just keep it with tall, we don't need to use an article. But here, since we're talking about the boy, it is possible to have an article because we're not talking about the characteristic, but we're talking about this little boy. Okay, questions on anything about this that I just showed you? Give me a thumbs up if everything is okay. That way I can know to proceed. All right. Excellent. Thumbs up. All right, thank you so much. So let's proceed. Also, one other thing that is that we don't use articles when we're talking about like a street. A street name doesn't have an article. Also, if we're talking about countries, if we're talking about cities, continents, we don't use an article. Also, when you talk about something in general, just like I said, hostels are usually cheap. So this is just a general idea. You're not specifying a very, very on point hostel, but it's just hostels in general. And also with non-count and count plural nouns, okay? Here it says for the name of parks, streets, single mountains, and lakes. And the only exception that they use the article the, it's if we are talking about United States, United Kingdom, and Philippines. Other than that, nothing else has to be mentioned with an article. So this is kind of a ordinal like a whole information about it. What else? I think that's it. So why don't we? Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So whenever we start using a or n, we can follow it with the. So first we just give like some introduction of something that we're talking about, but then to continue, instead of repeating over and over a or n, we use the. So a or n goes first and then the, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and complete some grammar. Number one, we use a or n with singular or plural nouns. What can you tell me? Jonathan, go ahead.
Use a or an with singular nouns.
Thank you. Number 2, Ismael.
Use no article when you talk about things in general.
Excellent. Yes, we never use an article if we are talking about something in general. Then Alan. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you very well, Alan.
You hear me now?
Yes, better.
Okay. Use the when you mention something for the first time, and then use a when you mention it again.
All right. Well, in this case, it will be the other way around. First, we use a or n, depending on what we're using, and then we go a very specific. So first, it's like an introduction, and then going to the specific thing that you previously talked about. All right. So maybe let's just switch it around. Okay, questions so far, guys? Anything? Any complaints? Thumbs up if you are doing great for now. All right, so let's continue. Now here are some exercises. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to analyze them and obviously respond them. And then we're gonna go ahead and talk about the answers from them. Here, for example, there's a Russian embassy. Remember that for nationalities, countries, cities, I'm sorry, the embassy. No, never mind. So it is a embassy. So it's talking more about the embassy. And then remember, we introduce it and then we use the to be more specific, to refer back to the Russian embassy. And then on, and it gives us an avenue. So remember that for addresses, avenues, boulevards, all that, we don't actually use an article. So continue with the rest of them. I will give you 2 minutes and then we will discuss the answers. Number 2. So let's go ahead and start. Number 2. Ismael.
All right, so number 2, I think I'm an engineer and I design bridges and tunnels.
Excellent. So I'm an engineer. I design bridges and tunnels. Excellent. By the way, that's so true. Jobs and all titles are also with A or N, depending on, well, actually with A, since we're talking about only one particular. Thank you. Next one, number 3. Omar?
There's a sculpture of a horse near the river. Have you seen it?
Thank you. Aaron, number 4.
You can get an information. It's number 4, right, teacher?
So information, it's a little bit general. So that's something we won't use an article. So yeah, information, it's a little bit general on that situation.
We can
Go ahead
use,
and with the rest.
you can get the information about the city at your hotel.
All right, and then the rest, then you can email me.
Then you can email me the information.
Yes. Why is it here no article and why is it here the? Well, here at first you are just giving a general idea. Now here you are being more specific about the information about the city at the hotel. So therefore, for more specific, we use the. All right. And then we have more. Don't worry. We have a lot of practice. So Octavio, you will do number 2. I will give you a couple of minutes to think about the answers. But yeah, Octavio, you will do number 2. So start thinking about the answers on that. Who wants to do 3, 4, and 5? So Jonathan, you will be in charge of number 3. Yeah. Jonathan, number 3. Who else? So Octavio, number 2. Jonathan, number 3. Number 4. Alan. And number 5, Wendy. Don't lower your hands, guys. So work on those real fast and then we will share the answers. So Octavio, Jonathan, Alan, and Wendy. All right. So I'll give you 2 minutes or one or 2 more minutes and then we will share the answers. All right, so let's go ahead and proceed. Number 2.
Is there an embassy near the school? Yes, a Canadian embassy is across the street.
Excellent. 3.
Do you stay in the hostels when you travel? No, I don't. I usually stay with friends.
Excellent. So maybe hostel is a little bit more general, we would say, but it's okay. Nothing happens here. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Alan, next one.
I have 4. I don't know if I hear bad.
You had which one? Number 4?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the next one, right? Do you have, or which one did you do?
I did 4.
Okay, so go ahead and do number 4.
Okay. Do you have a good view of the city from your home? Yes, I do. The view is excellent.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan. Great. And last one, Wendy.
Where is the best place to go shopping near here? There is a mall on 6th Avenue.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we're getting kind of the hang of how to use the articles. Questions about anything? Thumbs up if everything is clear. All right. Thumbs up or hands up, whatever works. All right, so now we're gonna do a last activity. So it's 2:27. I'm gonna give until 2:42, maybe kind of 15 minutes. So this is the deal. You are going to talk about, each one of you will think about a city in that you like or that you know better. Each one of you will create 2 questions. Try to come up with difficult questions to see if any in your team knows the answers to them about places. So let's say that you talk about Juarez. Now think about the features in Juarez, places that we have in Juarez, et cetera, et cetera. So think about all those city features that we talked about and complement it with this. Make 2 questions. Each one of you in the team will have 2 questions. You will ask them on the group. And then if someone knows the answer, obviously you will share it. And all I want for you to do is just to turn it in a Word document, on a notebook, whatever it's more comfortable for you. And I will create an assignment as well for you to deliver that or to upload that work. Only questions must be included, no answers. The answers you will be talking and discussing it in the call, on the call. Please try to answer the questions on the mic. Try, if you want, you can write down the questions on the chat, but no answers. Answers will have to be discussed on the mic, okay? So yeah, each one of you will create 2 difficult questions about the city features about that you know, and then you're gonna turn it in one document. Only one person will upload it, and just start discussing about the answers in your group, okay? So let's make sure that we talk and discuss on the mic, not only on the chat, and you will have until 2:42 or 2:45. Let's leave it as that. 2:45 so you can have time. Oh, no, never mind, because actually some of you have to leave earlier. So no, scratch that. Let's see if we can make it in 10 minutes. Okay? If not, I will tell you in the group if we have more time. So go ahead and go to your teams. Let's see if we can make it in 10 minutes, and then we will come back to the general call, okay? So let's go ahead and start going to our teams. Any questions before we go? Claudia, do you have a question or you forgot to lower your hand?
No, I forgot to lower my hand, sorry.
No problem. Don't worry. Thank you. So let's start going to our teams. Go, go, go. And if you have questions, please tag me on the chat so I can go with you guys. All right, so what team do we have? Do we have team 1? Team 2, team 3,
Team 3.
team 3, 4,
Four.
Okay, so I think we're only missing team 1 in 1, I think. Or 2, I'm sorry. Okay, so in the meantime that we're waiting for them, don't forget just to, oh, I forgot to make the assignment. I'm so sorry. Let me do it that fast. In the meantime, go ahead and present just maybe the cities that you picked, if it was more than one, and some relevant questions, something that you say, oh, that's an interesting question. So any team that would like to go first? Let's see, let's start from team 4, because we always pour team 1, we always put it first. So let's go ahead and start with team 4. Mention some relevant questions and what cities did you choose?
Okay, Miss. We chose the Ciudad Juárez because it's the city that know more than the others. And some questions about the Ciudad Juárez. It's where can you find a zoo in Ciudad Juárez? Is there a museum about dinosaurs and Ciudad Juárez? How many cafe bars are in the city?
We say too that now where is the Juan Gabriel's house, where we can find the monuments to the Mexicanis, and what time will the Central Park be open?
All right, so yeah, that Juan Gabriel has been very popular in this city. Excellent, thank you so much. So I just created the assignment, guys. You can start uploading. Only one person. Don't forget to include the names of everyone, but only one person should upload those questions. And yes, Aaron, don't worry. I know that it's almost time. So let's go very, very fast with the next teams. Team number 3. Cities and brief questions, relevant questions.
Okay, our city is Juárez City too. And some relevant questions are, Do you know where is the Centro Cultural Paso del Norte? And then, which bridge is better to cross to El Paso City?
Excellent. Those are good questions. And which would be the best best bridge to go to El Paso? What was your conclusion, guys?
America's Bridge.
Okay. Because it's the famous Libre, right?
Yeah, and because you don't have to pay to cross.
That's so true. All right. Thank you so much, team number 3. Let's go with team number 2. Tell us the cities or city and the relevant questions.
Okay, teacher. So my team and I choose Ciudad Juárez too. And the questions are, where can I find a ramen restaurant? Do you know who is Modesto? Do you know who is the owner of the Borunda Park? What exactly is the Rodadora? And specifically not the plant. Do you know the name of the place where is located the X? Do you know if there are any sports stores at Las Misiones? Is there any VIP zone in Cinépolis? What type of food is served in La Nueva Central? And that's it, teacher.
Okay, excellent questions. I got curious about the ramen one. Where would be a good place? What was the conclusion or the answers of a ramen place?
Lisbeth says she knows Miss.
Maybe a good place is Ichiban.
And where is it located? I was just.
I think it's behind. I don't know. The park. I saw it. Sure. I don't remember.
Okay, don't worry, it's okay. I was just curious about where, but it's okay.
Okay, teacher.
Thank you so much. And well, let's go with team number 1. Team number 1.
The questions from Ciudad Juárez. Is there a restaurant near the school? Where can you find the best bar? Where is the biggest crush in the city? Where is the USA Embassy located? Where in hospital number 35? What time does Missions Mall open? And teacher.
Excellent. I think the 35, are you talking about the one of IMSS located in Valentín Fuentes? Is it that one? Or I'm just making that up?
Yes, teacher.
Ooh, at least I got that right. Just kidding. Okay, thank you so much, Paola. Thank you team 1 for that. And I'm gonna let you go, guys, because it's already time. So please, for this, just to close, write down on the chat things that you learned, things that you liked about today's class, things that you didn't like, or anything, any comment or anything you want to say. So write it on the chat and I will dismiss the class. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Have a nice day and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, teacher. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Please have a great
See
day.
you. Have a good one too. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher. See you later.
See you. Bye-bye.